Okay, I got it, y'all. I'm good to go. All right. So the title of this video is, and I might have to edit this if I can, but it's live, so we're gonna go with it. The title of this is nothing is the same. And I don't even think I need my notes for this topic because it's been really, really, really it's been screaming loud within my vortex, within my spirit, within my thought processes, and that's that nothing is the same. And what I mean by that is, you know, I have conversations all of the time. And one thing that really, really is making me come to a point of acceptance is that nothing is the same. And when I say that, I mean the algorithm of life, the algorithm of life that we are used to. For instance, we realize and we acknowledge that things are changing from generation to generation. The things that our parents were taught, and even our great grandparents were taught, they don't necessarily all the time work in where we are now in this time space reality. For instance, our grandparents were taught that you go to school, you get your education, and you get a good corporate job to take care of your family. And not only that, our parents was taught we go to school, Diamond, get down, off. That's my dog Diamond. You might see her pop up from time to time. You go to school, you go to college, you work in whatever field, you get a job in your field because you went to college, and then you are able to thrive in this world. And so much so in the last couple of years, I'm realizing that's not really the case so much. You know, that's not the case so much. A lot of us are still on the bandwagon of pushing our children to go to school, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to fight against that. But what I will say is, I think that we need to be realistic. There are people, and some of you will agree, and some of you, this may be the boat that you are in. We've done all of the things that we were told to do. We have followed the plan, the step-by-step instruction, the algorithm of what we felt like success was. And then we, somewhere down the line, realized that it's not quite going the way we had envisioned it. It's not quite going the way we've been taught. So we're having to rethink what and redefine what our definition of success is, what our definition of what makes us happy, our definition of what makes us comfortable. And for everyone is different, and we respect everybody in their different places and whatever that is. But if we be honest with ourselves, nothing is the same. And I'm saying that with every turn, because it's like it's no longer a predictable outcome. It's not. It's no longer a predictable outcome, and we will trip ourselves up. If we be honest, we would trip ourselves up by feeling like it's a predictable outcome. Then that's not to say that our intentions are not set forth to put ourselves or set ourselves up. That's not to say that we're not to strive for those things. But we just have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be more conscious about what's making us happy. Why is it making us happy? Is it serving us? Is it? Is it serving us? Are we putting what we feel is the definition of success or accomplishment or happiness or comfort or safety or whatever? Are we putting a lot of emphasis on things that no longer hold true anymore because of the date and time that we live in? So please feel free to come into the comment box and talk about it. Okay, I might be jumping around just a little bit here because I feel so much in the moments that I feel them, and sometimes I'm not always in a position to be able to record, but I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to do better as far as jotting down what it is that I'm feeling and thinking. Okay. I wrote down the other day being relentless versus reckless. Please feel free to chime in. Relentless versus reckless. Some people feel like we should all be relentless to a degree, but not to carry over into recklessness. We should always have, first of all, our callings, whatever our calling is, whatever our skill is, whatever our desires are that we want to pursue. They may not be popular, they may not be accepted by some people that don't understand. But I want to encourage us all that we are to be relentless in the things that the divine has deposited on the inside of us. Okay. We have to be comfortable with our calling. We have to be postured for where we're supposed to be in our journey, not matching up, not paralleling with anybody else, but where we are to be in our journey. So being relentless in that. Not everyone is going to understand. I even wrote down, this is something I heard. And so every morning I'm listening to something that's feeding my spirit because I know that there's so many things competing for my attention, for my emotion, for my mental. Okay, there's so much competing for that. Setting the tone in meditation and in prayer is always a must for me. And so I heard something one morning and it stuck out. It says, don't depend on humans for your harmonic flow, for the plans for your life and in your journey. You just can't. So being relentless in that, people won't understand. We've all been misunderstood to a certain extent. Where we become reckless at is when we try to make someone understand. Make somebody understand where it is we coming from. Now, if I were to say myself, I'm the queen of I ain't gonna say that. I'll say that there's been so many times growing up and even now that people just simply don't understand me. But then there are some that do. Okay. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just feel like as long as we're counting the cost on what it is and how we're shifting and moving, because the divine is speaking to us on an individual basis. When I go to bed at night, when you go to bed at night, all you're left with is your solitude for yourself and what your higher power, whoever or whatever that may be, you're left with that. You're sitting with that. You're in solitude with that. You're in harmony with that. You're in harmony with your plans. You're in harmony with your vision. So it's kind of hard when you share those things with people and then you expect for them to understand. I've come to understand and grow to not being so, yes, you want that support. Everybody does. But I've come to understand that don't take it personal. You can't take it personal when people don't get you. When people don't get you, we can't take it personal when people don't get you. And so it was something about the word harmony or harmonic. Harmony to me defines alignment, it defines confidence, it defines assurity, it defines being balanced, being seated, being grounded. All of those things speak harmony to me and being harmonic. And when I heard this the other morning, I was like, this is true. Case in point, my husband and I have made the decision for the first 3 months, because that's the time frame that you can go to abroad for, visitation or what have you, or be out away from the US at the time. We made the decision to move to Jamaica. Okay. And for our reasons and our reasons only, we've had some people that wonder why, and we've had some people that be like, do it. I would do it if I could. And it was all about nothing is the same. And I'm not saying that any one location is going to be the deal, is going to be the cure-all thing, because the truth of the matter is, even though we're moving to Jamaica or for a short while or transitioning there for reasons that I'll get into later, maybe not in this video, or maybe we will be in this video, who knows. Um, but it's just the fact of we realize that nothing is the same and we need a change of pace, pretty much. We need a change of pace. And in sharing this with some people, they felt very alarmed by this. They felt alarmed. They felt like maybe they didn't understand in this entirety, and maybe we didn't explain it, but it needed not be explained in detail because this is a move that inwardly, in me and him being in alignment, we needed to do for ourselves, okay, for different reasons, for so many different reasons, but all reasons and vision that benefit us, benefit our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, okay, and of course our emotional, all that goes hand in hand. And so when I heard this term, I had to realize, hey, you're not doing this for anybody but yourself. And there'll be a lot of things that a lot of different ones of us do that may not be understood, but as long as they're understood by us, it's our choice. And however we see fit to be and move and know why you're doing what you're doing, that's all that matters. Because this went on the heels of the title that of this video, that nothing is the same. And sometimes you have to steal away, you have to fast, you have to go on a sabbatical to reset yourself. It doesn't mean that nothing is wrong. It just means you want to reset yourself. Plain, period, point blank. And all of us do that in different ways. Okay. I'm trying to look through my notes here because I realize that I have no specific structure because there's so many different topics that we can talk on, and I'm hoping that this video gets pushed out, so please like, share, subscribe so that we can start generating conversations that are meaningful and of substance to us. Even if it be a question, of something you want to talk about, we come up here live, let's talk about it. Okay. Another thing that I had wrote down is that we're all in a certain space and place, and we need to move at our own pace. This is something that me and my sister, my best friend, talked about um, a couple weeks ago. Okay, a space, a place, and a pace. We have to all identify and define what that is for us. And we have to sit with ourselves and figure out, what space am I in right now? What mental space am I in? What emotional space am I in? What spiritual space am I in? And sometimes our environment contributes to that. Not saying again that moving away or doing something like that is going to cure everything. The hope and the prayer is that the preparation will be made before you get to the place of peace, the physical place that you consider to be an environment that helps you thrive. Okay. Hopefully we're all doing that homework, but just sitting with yourself and realizing that I'm in a space. Okay. And then position yourself in a place that helps you thrive. If you take a seed and put it in the ground, the environment is sometimes going to contribute. I would say most all the time in this analogy is going to contribute about how much that seed sprouts, how much it germinates, and how much it sprouts, and what becomes of it. Okay, what becomes of it? It's the same it is with us. What's becoming of us in this space and place? Okay, and then the pace part is just how fast or slow you want to go. A lot of us are in this place of contemplation, like I said, reevaluation in my previous video, and our reevaluation of what is it that's making me happy? What is it that's going to make me thrive? And it's nobody outside of ourselves. It's all about what your spirit and what your divine is telling you to flow from within. Okay. I have keep a balanced perspective. The environment helps to nurture the inward shift. Okay. Goes back to the seed and the germination and the sprouting of it and what comes of it. First of all, we got to identify what kind of seeds we're planting. Okay. What kind of seeds are we actually planting? Are we going back to seeds of routine and broken patterns and thought processes that don't serve us, or even reacting to the same situation, expecting a different outcome? And we already know what the definition of that is. keeping a balanced perspective. The balanced perspective is within you. The perspective is what you're looking at through your eye gates. Okay, whether it be spiritual or natural. What vision are you setting forth that you want to see and walk into? The environment helps to nurture the inward shift. I know for me, part of our move to Florida was so that we could be close to the water, because I realized we realize how healing water is, how cleansing it is. It's not just for the tangible sense. My friend said today, being in the water and the waves of the water also affects us mentally. Our brain waves, our frequencies are different when, excuse me, when we're near water versus being somewhere else. So for us, water is a big purifying property. Being near the water, seeing the water, feeling the water on our skin is a big purifying property. Okay. And I also put, but the inward shift has to move with the external shift. That means making preparation for where we are in our place, okay, in our destination, making that preparation. So we said that after the new year, there are some things that we're going to shift as far as our practice in preparation for where we're going, because we need that much more clarity in and keenness to the flow. See, some places that you move is a faith walk. Some places that you move into, and that's talking about necessarily the place physically, but some places that you move into energetically, in your mind, in your emotions, in your thoughts. You know, they have to be strategic at times. Move, Diamond. Go sit down. We have to be strategic about those moves. Okay. And so just keeping that in mind. And then moving in your own cadence. This is something else that I wrote down. Moving in your own cadence. That goes with the pace of the thing. Sometimes we get caught up subconsciously measuring ourselves or putting ourselves in somebody else's footsteps and somebody else's path and journey, when that doesn't serve us all the time. It's okay to have a motivating factor. It's okay to be motivating. It's okay to have an inspiration. It's okay to get glean some type of inspiration. But when it's all said and done, we have to go back with our own pace. We have to stay in our own pace. Um, and that's all I got to say about that for now. Okay. So as we are getting prepared, and let me just talk about our move to Jamaica really quick. And for those that have any information, we are open. We are in the University of Flow. And we are also knowing that that comes with a level of preparation in a practical sense. And so we are open to that. We are part of an expat group that has definitely been beneficial, being able to correspond with people and just understand that there's a lot of synchronicities and likenesses and flow, and that just lets us to know that divine is with us, that for the purpose and the vision that we see, we're not letting anything compromise our call in this particular situation, and in every situation. Excuse me, I'm not trying to isolate one thing, but because I'm talking about our move and why we're moving, it's just like, do we need a reason for real? Like, do we need a reason? I mean, we have plenty of reasons. People have plenty of reasons for what they do, but do you need a reason? That goes back into your space, place, and pace. We don't need validation. We need to stay in harmonic flow with the divine for reasons that serve us, even if they're not understood. I don't want to harp too much on that because it goes without saying. But I believe that me saying it and me sharing this, someone is finding themselves in this same predicament. It may not be about a move, but it's definitely about an inward shift or a transitional period that you're in right now. And so if this helps, then by all means, let it help you. Let it fall where it may. In this season, we are in a pursuit of higher truth. We're in a pursuit of higher truth. We've come to realize with maturation, with the way things are in this world, with the matrix, if you will, that the things that we've been fed are not necessarily accurate. the things that we've been taught are not accurate. So a lot of us are in this pursuit of truth, and that truth goes with self-discovery, self-improvement, self-actualization, and most of all, self-love, and filling our cups. Because when we fill our cups, we're able to give optimally to somebody else, okay, or to someone else. But first, we have to give to ourselves. All right, Diamond, go sit down. Go lay down, baby. So, I'm going to share something with you guys that I feel like is beneficial to share at this point in time. I made an agreement with myself one day. I was on my way to work, and every day as I'm sure many of you, you're looking for signs of synchronicities, and you're asking the divine at every turn, assure me that you're with me. I know you're with me, but because this request or this ask or this projection is so real, and so it's like crazy faith. It's like operating on crazy faith. Show me that what I'm doing, what I'm planning is actually supported. Okay. So one day I was on my way to work, and I wrote this down. I said, today I made an agreement with the divine, the universe, that I would see signs of either frogs and or feathers. Okay. Because feathers have already always been, I don't know what it is about feathers, but it's always been like a synchronistic sign for me. Because you ask for things that are a little bit out of the ordinary, so that when you see it, you'll know for sure. You'll know for sure. So I asked to see frogs and or feathers. And so I happened to be somewhere, and I just so happened to have time to look at a meme. It was either like a YouTube short or something like that on TikTok or whatever. And I saw this disabled man. He was in the airport. And I don't know if this was meant to be funny, but again, I was glancing at this meme. And the meme was that he was in the airport and he was disabled, and these two gentlemen was helping him through the monitor. I can't even think what I'm trying to say. The scanner, which you go through in order to get through security. So these two people was helping him through, and the man fell to the ground, and the two men with him, and his legs started moving like a frog. And then I looked at the title, and it says The Frog Man. Now, he was being funny because he was initially on stilts holding him up. Then these two people. And I was like, man, this is so power packed. First of all, the divine answered my prayer about letting me see frogs. And it didn't have to be a frog like the actual animal, the actual tadpole or whatever. It could be anything resembling frogs, or showing me feathers. It could be hearing the word feathers. It could be seeing a frog. It could be somebody having a frog stuffed animal on their desk. It could be any of those things. But I wasn't so strict with myself that it's not something I could come across, but it was keen enough to let me know, and only me know, that the divine was with me. And so when I saw that video, I believe with all my heart and soul that the divine was saying, I'm with you, daughter. I'm with you, queen. Your prayers, your vision, what you've written down, what you contemplated, what you prayed, what you planning is supported. It's supported. Because one thing you got to understand is that people, when they're relentless about where they're going, it may very much seem strange, but allow them the space to expand in a way that serves them. Allow them the space to expand in a way that truly, 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 truly serves them. And just continue to let that go. Continue to let it go. And so I was very, very, very thankful. And that was that in that moment, that was my go ahead. That was my go ahead for my husband and I to push play. And I didn't write down a date for that particular vision, but I was like, we're in pursuit of a different type of truth. Not the truth that we've been told, not the truth that we've been taught, but the truth that is, and the truth that allows us to know that we truly are free, that we're not, excuse me, we're not following what the algorithm of this world is. And yeah, that right there. Not following the algorithm in which somebody else thinks you should do things. So let me see here. I heard this somewhere. I'm gonna just say it. It says the sickness of the West is stress, and I wish, I don't know if this is something that might have come to me, but I write down things all the time. The sickness of the West is stress. I'm gonna just leave it there. I want to share one more thing before I go, and I want you guys to comment if this video resonates with, if something is said that resonates with you in some kind of way. But I just want to get in the spirit of sharing, and I'll be sharing a lot more now that I know how to stream with YouTube. Okay. And thank you so much for all the subscribers that have already subscribed and those that will. Don't forget to hit that bell so that every time a video is posted that you'll get notified in real time. So the other day I was driving home from work, and it was dark, and I was on a main highway because that's where I'm a RN for those that don't know. And I was on this main highway leaving work. And when I say main highway, I mean it wasn't a highway. It's a main street. It's a boulevard. Okay. I looked over and I happened to see three wild black hogs at a place where you would not picture three pigs, hogs, boars, whatever you want to call them, because I really don't know the difference. But I looked and I said, they're not dogs, but it was like they were grazing. They were grazing. Okay. And one was by the fence line, and two of them were in the on the side of the road. Okay. Now, granted, if you were to walk, there's a sidewalk, there's grassy patches. Like I said, this is on a boulevard. It's a store on this street, there's a hospital on this street. Like it's in a place where you would not think you would notice wild hogs, boars, whatever. And like I said, with me personally, I am asking the divine to communicate in a way that I can understand and comprehend. And that's what I suggest that all of our prayers and inspirations be when we're meditating, when we're praying. Communicate in a way that I can understand and comprehend, understand and comprehend. So I was looking at that, and I was on Marco Polo with someone, and I just could not believe that I saw these wild black big old pigs in the area that you wouldn't normally think you would see pigs. And I said, I know that this is a sign from the divine. So as I was going to sleep that night, I asked Spirit to please reveal to me what is it that I'm supposed to glean from seeing these wild boars, pigs, whatever they may be. And so if you think about a pig in a physical sense, pigs are they're hungry, they're relentless, they stop at nothing to get what they want. They're very bold, they can be found obviously wherever they be. They don't have any boundaries in some cases. um yeah, there's a lot of different attributes if we think about a pig. But one thing I do know is that I was like, well, how am I being related to a pig? How am I, what lesson am I getting out of being a pig? And I looked up some other attributes of pigs that we may not really understand, that we may not even acknowledge. Okay. Some of those attributes were, hold on. Some of those attributes were that, like I said, pigs are relentless, right? So because pigs are relentless, they go wherever they find themselves happy. They graze wherever the substance is. They are confident. They don't care what's around them. Um, what else? There was a lot of different things that came that I can glean from a positive about what pigs represent. And so, again, we have to have the confidence of knowing that we are, while we're yet individuals, that whatever it is that you're seeking clarification, validation on, let it be a harmony and a harmonic frequency that comes from within and not without. Okay. Let it be a frequency that comes from within and not without. And the reason why I say nothing is the same, because everything that we see with our physical eyes are telling us that we're to go this way one day and go that way another day. And if you get this degree, you'll be successful. If you get this job, you'll be seen as successful. And this is all a lie. It's all a lie on so many different levels. Nothing is the same, can be whatever it is you need it to be for you. But we're all in a pursuit for truth. We're all in the pursuit for truth. Ooh, this incense is getting it, honey. Thank you. We're all in the pursuit for truth, and whatever your truth is, hold fast to that truth. But we have to realize on some level that things may have shifted for us in our consciousness, in our plans, in our goals, and we need to allow ourselves the room and the capacity to expand and grow on whatever level that is for you. Okay. But this concludes this video. I don't want to make it too long, and I think I'm doing real good. I'm just under, about to be over a little bit over 35 minutes. But if you could, please leave some comments in the comment block. Let me know how this video has inspired you in some way.